What motivates you? And it was being first generation.
Being first generation, making my parents or my grandmother proud.
Making them proud.
Obviously it's from that to just
say I love you one time. Just say it.
They don't.
Say you're proud of me. Say you're proud of me, Mom. What's up? We are here at the Brad Kofman Chop Shop, chopping it up with the great Missy.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, what's up? She is a lifestyle architect, a personal stylist, an image consultant, and a luxury lifestyle concierge.
Yes, sir. Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. And she is a fucking boss. Let's get into it. First, I think you actually just asked me a question before we came on camera, and I want to go back there. You asked me where I was from. Mm-hmm. I'm from the Chicago suburbs, but where are you from?
I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. I grew up in Bridgeport. I know back when we lived there, it was considered McKinley Park. Yeah. I know they fixed the grid and switched over some streets, so I'd still consider McKinley Park Bridgeport.
Okay.
The Chicago question is the question everybody asks to know if you're really from Chicago is what high school you went to.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
I went to Jones College Prep.
You went to Jones. Okay.
Yes, I went to Jones.
Nice.
One of those.
You're very smart.
Very intelligent. Yes,
yeah.
Yes. That's definitely book smart.
Nice. And then, okay. So have you lived anywhere else? You've been here your whole life?
I've basically been here my whole life. Okay. I do travel a lot.
Yeah, I've seen from your Instagram. You'd love to travel.
I love to travel because I've lived here my whole life. Yes. Our weather stinks.
Yeah, I've lived here my whole life too.
Yeah.
You got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, working on it. We're working on it. Yeah. Manifest.
Yeah.
Manifest. Yep, speak it into existence.
Always. Okay, so tell me about you're a fashion
personal stylist,
mm-hmm. But you're also a fashion blogger a little bit too.
A little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was getting at. So I was looking at your Instagram a lot, and it looks like you style several athletes and celebrities and people of note, and then also include them sometimes. It look like in some sort of shows or fashion stuff you're doing, and add that to the fashion blog. Care to drop any names of who you?
Let's just say the past 2 seasons, Jalen Johnson has gotten a lot of exposure.
Nice.
With a little help from little me.
Okay.
So yeah, Jalen Johnson is my main client right now.
Okay.
For the past 5 years, I've also worked with Lakin Tomlinson. He's also a Chicago alumni. Yeah. Went to Lane Tech.
He did?
He did. He went to Lane Tech. Yeah. Okay. So he plays on the Seahawks right now.
Yeah.
A few notable mentions. I work with a lot of people. I have a really big network.
Yeah.
But consistent weekly basis, Jalen and Lakin.
Okay, so you're their go-to person.
Every week.
Every decision is made by you.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Lakin is 90-10 with Lakin. With Jalen, I would say it's about 80-20 with Jalen. But
that's still a lot. I mean, that's the majority of every day.
Yeah, but I will give myself credit for majority of the creative control of what they wear.
Okay.
I don't think
you put together the closet, so they can't really mess up too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I help. I mean, it's a part of it of the personal styling is wardrobe consulting as well. So, not just shopping for specifically the game day, but shopping for pieces to incorporate in your wardrobe just to have. And I think everybody needs it. Doesn't matter what your budget is. It's okay to have a friend to tell you what to buy. So I've been based out of a department store for the past couple years. But mainly sourcing. I can shop anywhere from a thrift store to a boutique to actually reaching out to actual designers and brands and requesting gifting from them myself.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so obviously you're pretty successful now, and you have a bunch of high profile clients.
I do.
Where did it start?
Career wise or celebrity wise?
No, I mean so this is a dream that was brought into existence. Where did you first fall in love with it? Do you remember the origin of when the first you remember like the first moment you could tie back to falling in love with like fashion or art or whatever you would want to categorize this
I had
as.
a lot of Barbie dolls that I dressed all
Did
the
you?
time.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So that was
it goes way back.
It goes way back.
Unless you were doing this shit at like 19, I don't know.
No. Like the easy gift, I'm the first grandchild. My parents are immigrants.
Me too. I'm the first grandchild.
Yeah, I'm the first grandchild. My parents are immigrants. And it was just, I guess, like it's an American thing for a little girl to have Barbie dolls, right? So that's my first memory is literally having like, back then, I'm an 88 baby. So back then, even having the big Tupperware, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So I'd have like the Tupperware full of clothes, the Barbie dream house.
Yeah. You talking about those big like containers you'd get at like Walmart?
The stuff you hide your Christmas tree under.
Yes. Yeah. We had those too.
Yeah. So I had one of those full of just the clothes. Okay. The toys. I mean, the clothing, shoes, all that for the Barbie dolls.
For the Barbies?
Yeah.
Oh, you filled up one of those. I put my winter clothes in there and shit. You had it for your Barbie. So you had a lot.
I wouldn't say as big, but just a regular size.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, for the toy, the pieces to be as small as this, I had a lot.
Yeah. That's crazy. Okay.
I'm the first grandchild. I'm the first granddaughter, you know. There was like a gap between like the first of us grandchildren and then the second gap of the grandkids. So yeah, being, the firstborn, I'm a little spoiled.
That's so crazy. I have the same situation. Mm-hmm. So both sides, I am the first grandchild. I actually have a stepdad too. Mm-hmm. And I'm for all three sides, first grandchild. And then the next grandchildren weren't born till 9 years after me.
So like my sister and I are 10 years apart.
Yeah. My sister and I are 8 years apart.
Yeah. And my brother and I are 3 years apart, but then my sister and I are 10 years apart. So I get it.
So it was just you. It's so interesting because when it's just you, like I lived with my grandparents growing up.
They raised us. So.
Yeah. So I had like a very special relationship with them. My parents too. But like, it's like I said, did you, first of all, you said your parents are, so you're first generation.
I am first generation.
Where are your parents from?
My mom is from Vietnam. Okay. My dad is from Myanmar, which is now.
I know Myanmar.
Yeah. It's recently called Burma, but now
Burma,
it's Myanmar.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm first generation, of child of immigrants. My grandmother that raised me was my dad's mom. She's Burmese, didn't speak English. She was a seamstress.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah.
That's so cool.
I the one thing I regret is not learning how to sew on the machine through her.
Okay.
But just like the stuff she would buy me, the stuff she would make me, the things that I would see because she didn't work. Culturally, our grandparents don't work. They take care of the children culturally. So that was just by culture.
Okay.
But yeah, just having a Barbie dream, like having the Barbie doll and all that. And it didn't have to necessarily be Barbie. Like, some of my friends would give me like the dollar store ones for my birthday, which didn't matter, but it was just having those pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one. I went to Columbia for college.
Okay.
My first major was photography. Felt like it wasn't it. Switched it to advertising. And then I'm like, I'm not a copywriter. I'm a creative, but I'm not a copywriter.
Copywriting kind of sucks all the fun out of the creative process.
Yes.
Because it's just so painstaking and methodical, and I feel like you take the soul out of it.
It just wasn't it. I'm like, this is too boring. And so then I was like, why didn't I think of this before? And so I ended up majoring in PR.
Okay.
Yeah. I ended up majoring in PR while at the same time. This is at
Columbia.
This is all at Columbia. Okay. At the same time, my first job was Forever 21.
Really?
And I will say this. If you can manage a Forever 21, you can manage anything.
Oh, your first job was managing a Forever 21?
Well, I mean, like I worked my way up.
You worked your way up.
My way up.
They were like, she's fucking amazing.
But in general,
at the top.
But in general, if you can manage a Forever 21, you can manage anything.
Oh, that's got to be insane.
And this is like during peak. Like this
which was your store?
The big State Street one, which is now the Jordan store.
Ask, yes.
Which is, before that was Toys R Us.
Yeah, I remember when it was Toys R Us.
And then it became Forever 21, and then now it's the Jordan store.
Yeah.
So that was a long time ago. So yeah, during college, I worked at, retail. That was cool. It was fun. Like, you get to wear whatever you want. And then when I graduated and looking for a job in PR, no one would hire me. Everybody was very like, oh, you didn't get a marketing internship and you have no degree. Damn. You have no background. It's just retail. And so it was really upsetting because, everything is offering, start you at $32,000 with, a commission and bonuses and whatnot. And I'm like, $32,000. I'm like, I work in retail. I'm 21 making
way more than that.
At 21, I was probably making like $18, $19 an hour when minimum wage was about $7, $8 an hour.
Damn.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll just continue making money.
Yeah.
And so worked at Forever 21, worked at a couple other retailers, worked at Akira for a couple years. That's kind of where my styling business came from. So I did Akira for 3 years. And after Akira, I ended up going over to department store and working in their men's department. And so switching over from women's to men, a little challenging because I wasn't used to it. But then once I grasped it, I'm like, this is easy. My first client ever.
Oh, so that's interesting. So that's how you went into men's fashion versus women's fashion.
I also had managed this boutique called The Basement.
Okay.
So it doesn't exist anymore, but it's on the lines of streetwear. So like,
it's a cool name.
When Leaders was open, when
the hundreds,
when everything was first started open. So like Leaders, Juggernaut, I think those were like would have been our competitors back in that day. And then they closed, so I found other jobs. Yeah. Throughout this time, I also worked in nightlife.
Oh, like what does that mean?
Clubs.
What did you do?
Bartended. Promoted.
So you were just like a jack of all trades for the club.
Yeah, because I'm like, I already had a network. I already know people like living, the area I was from and the friends I hung out with. Like we partied a lot. You're in college.
Yeah.
So I didn't go to a university where I had dorms and like college parties.
Me either.
So my college friends are my retail friends.
Yeah.
And so we would bar hop. Like back then it was down Milwaukee, all the hot spots down Milwaukee. And then I'm like, oh, you just meet people as you go. And I'm like, why didn't I think about this earlier?
Why am I not getting paid for this?
Yeah, why am I not getting paid for bringing friends around and coming to drink? Come on, why not?
Yeah.
So as I'm doing, I've been doing retail and nightlife for the past 18 years.
Are you still doing nightlife?
I am still doing nightlife.
Can we talk about where you're doing nightlife, or we just?
Yes.
Yeah. So you do it at Rhino Bar.
We're currently at Rhino Bar. Yeah. We're in, previously known as Stout. I
remember Stout. Okay, so I was going to ask you about
around,
this.
It's Stout.
Yeah, so I live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And that neighborhood. And I remember Stout was there for a while. Then it kind of shut down. It was like Barrel Stout or something like that. And then they opened up his Rhino Bar. And then it was like open like once a week or something. And now it's open regular?
Yeah. So it was open as a pizza bar. It just didn't do so well. So now we shifted it to nightlife.
So Rhino Bar was originally a pizza bar, or it was something else, a different name?
No, Rhino Bar was Rhino Bar. But the concept was more like just, pizza bar. Like,
And that didn't do well?
It just didn't. They needed something to make it realistic and work. Yeah. So now we're nightlife. If you didn't know, Underground closed down.
I did. I mean, you're replacing a void in that area for sure.
Yeah. So we're replacing that void.
Yeah.
So we're basically replacing that, nightlife, club culture, bottle service, VIPs. So that's basically where I'm at now with nightlife. I'm a VIP host, but I also, I'm a VIP host there, but I also can, that goes back to the luxury lifestyle concierge.
Okay.
Because I have the clientele that I have. I'm your go-to in Chicago. You need a boat. You need security. You need a driver.
You're like the fixer. You're the go-to lady.
You need reservations somewhere.
Wow. You're a good person to know. So people want to know you.
Yeah. And I will say this, you can't come to Chicago and not like pass through me somehow.
Yeah.
Like in passing, however, whether you meet me or whether in the same room as me.
Yeah.
There's like, if you're into the luxury lifestyle, you're going to pass through me somehow.
So you're out in the world. You're just being seen. When do you sleep?
Sundays.
Sundays?
A little bit on Sundays and sleeping on Mondays.
And Mondays. Okay, yeah. So you just take your weekend and just crash and catch up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sleep when I can.
That's crazy. All right, so we have a lot to talk about here. You mentioned, so a couple of things I want to go back to actually.
Okay.
Choosing to do, I guess, when did you come out to your family and tell them this is what you wanted to do?
I mean, when I majored in PR, again, this is a very, we're Asian.
Yeah.
It's very like doctor, nurse, lawyer.
I'm Jewish and we have the same thing. I was curious, as like a first generation immigrant, we're like, what the fuck are you doing, Missy?
Because in their head, it's like, what the fuck's a creative?
Yeah.
Like what the fuck?
That job will be gone tomorrow. So no job security.
They didn't understand what a millennial career was. And that's what I consider what I am is a millennial.
I would agree. That's a good name for it.
It's a millennial career because it didn't exist 20 years ago.
Correct. There was no social media managers 20 years ago.
No. It didn't exist 20 years ago. And I think the fact of, like you said, social media needs.
Try and put this a little closer.
They need creatives. Yeah. They need someone to tell you what works. It's the modern day advertisement. It's the modern day cosign. It's the modern day the whole word of influence and influencer.
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
It's big business now. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar business. And yeah, it's definitely so. When did you do that? When you started going to school for PR, they were like, "What is this?" And you had to explain.
So, they never got it.
Okay.
I don't think they still do.
Okay. Some of my family still doesn't get comedy. They're like, and you
tell jokes.
Yeah, it's that, or it's like you do what now? You do what at dinner parties? And I'm like, what dinner parties?
Well, I curate and host a dinner party.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I.
And sometimes I guess I've done so many bad dinner parties. Like dinner parties got to be the hardest gig because you do it for like these networking executives most of the time, and they want to pay you money, and then they just stare at you while they eat prime rib.
While you're trying to make a joke without
you make a joke, but you have a list of things you can't say because it's going to piss off the CEO or his wife.
I was just going to ask you, when you do it, and you're telling your jokes, is there do not talk about list or is it dry humor?
I don't do it anymore. I used to do the do not talk about list when I needed the money for these corporate gigs. Now I don't really. I mean, if some of the corporate gigs are great, and it doesn't matter what you do, they just pay you for your 35 minutes or whatever.
Okay.
And there's just no world. Comedy just doesn't work in certain places. Probably similar in your life. I can't go to one of my first gigs when I first started was I would get time at a strip club.
Why?
Okay, hang on. Let me break down the business for you.
Of all things, a strip club. Why?
Because all nude strip clubs that didn't serve alcohol legally have to do 1 hour of something that's not titties or stripping.
Here in Chicago.
And it was I think it was Polecats. I think it's in Indiana.
Oh my God, Polecats. Yeah. Polecats still exists.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that was my first strip club I ever went to.
Really?
Yeah.
Me too, and I worked it. Not like that though. But they would have to do an hour, and you would get up there, and there's just everybody's like, bring back the strippers. Who is this guy?
Who is this and why?
And you're just talking. You're trying to do crowd work. Like, get the fuck out of here. They're talking to the strippers on the side.
Titties.
Yeah, there's certain places comedy cannot work. And
I would agree. It definitely doesn't work in a strip club.
No, it doesn't.
No. And whoever thought of that is a fucking idiot.
Unless you have a lot of money, you're trying to make the stripper laugh because she's going to laugh then.
Sure.
But no, it doesn't. So, okay. Going back to you were saying.
So
you curate these dinner parties.
Yeah, that's part of the luxury lifestyle. Curating dinner parties, just curating events, private events. Sometimes the players want to have a good night, have a good time, and want to, as private as possible. Without the media and just people all in their face. I mean, they're just like us. They just make it different. They're in a different tax bracket. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So that's a great place to be for you. You're putting this all together.
Yeah.
And then they're like, how much does it cost? And they don't even, I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's one of those things where you don't even think about money at a certain point, I would imagine.
It's just you could just say I just throw cool parties, I guess.
Yeah.
I just throw cool parties where you got, somebody who's a big time music exec, you got a rapper in the room, you got a singer in the room, you got a big influencer, a model, and you got all the basketball players. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Jamie Foxx, when he first started, would throw together these parties.
Yeah.
And so he got an acting career.
Okay.
Yeah. He would have probably doesn't age well, but he would have Diddy and Snoop Dogg and all these models and athletes come and throw together these cool parties. And he would just be a funny guy. And they'd be like, hey, I'm doing a thing. Will you come tell jokes? Will you be in this thing? And that's how he got an acting career.
Nice. Yeah. No, see, I would say it's more so of because I'm the Rolodex.
Yeah. Right. You have the contacts.
Because I'm the Rolodex, they're set it up. Tell me where to send the money.
The Rolodex.
And then just boom. But
that's another thing we don't have anymore, Rolodexes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'm a 2024 Rolodex.
Hell yeah. I love that.
That's what it's considered. But I would say when I started doing a little bit of everything from nightlife to styling and dealing with the high profile people, I think that's when I kind of started witnessing that Chicago doesn't have a celebrity culture.
It really doesn't. It's starting to have more of an influencer culture. That might be because of you.
Yeah.
But I don't notice the celebrity culture as much.
I feel people are just so starstruck.
Yeah, they are. You see anybody here, people are like, whoa.
Oh my God, that's so-and-so. And like, they just don't understand. Like, do not go ask this man for a picture while he's having dinner with his family.
They're gonna anyway.
And that's the thing, like, people don't get that, which is annoying. So this is why, like, hey, you want a dinner here, but you want the private room? I'll set it up for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you want a private party? Just get, like, I don't want to be in the club, but I want everybody at the club at the event.
Yeah. You want to be around people who aren't going to ask you stupid questions like that?
Yeah, maybe network, maybe meet somebody, you know, have a good time, grab a drink, whatever.
Nice.
But just like, you know, people, like, it's a if you know type of room.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's go back in time a little bit.
Okay.
All right, so I like how we're jumping forward and moving back. So we're staying chronological, but I still get to hear the full story.
Okay.
Okay, so you started changing your major to PR. You basically came out to your parents. You said, guys, I'm gay. I want to do this. And they were like,
I think to explain to them, they didn't know what PR was. So just by telling marketing, they assumed it was sales.
Interesting.
They assumed it was sales.
That works. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I lied to my family a little bit too.
So just to kind of make it seem like that, like that's my major. And then I kind of took it and ran with it because that's what I'm doing now still is the PR and just in a more creative and again, millennial space. Yeah. That's all it really is.
So you took it from that, you got your degree, you did a bunch of cool things in college that we just talked about, started at Forever 21, moved to, I think it was Akira. And then that's when you moved kind of into men's fashion a little bit and styling. And then from there, you kind of built contacts, moved here. How did you get from Akira to where you are today?
I had insight on NFL players and specifically here, like I had insight on how a player's schedule is like, right? And so football players condition the most. And to be honest, who the fuck wants to drive from Deerfield to Chicago to shop and sit in that traffic there and back, right?
That's true.
So back, 2017, my first client was Danny Trevathan.
Okay.
And so I would send him pictures of outfits and like give him options of what he wanted. And for convenience, I would drop it off at the hotel.
Oh, shit. Oh, and he would be like, thank you.
Yeah, cool. What time you checking in? Cool. Drop it off like concierge. Just
That's
drop
amazing.
It off.
So you kind of like guerrilla marketed this thing.
So from there, again, word of mouth.
Yeah.
And then that was when like social media first was coming out and about.
That's cool.
Well, at least Instagram at least.
Yeah.
And so
2017 Instagram was starting to eclipse as the biggest one.
So I was doing styling tunnel fits before it was cool to do it.
What was that called?
I was styling tunnel fits before it was cool to do tunnel fits.
Tunnel fit. I don't know what that means. What is tunnel fits?
The outfits that the players wear when they get all the
paparazzi. Oh, the tunnel fits.
Yes, the tunnel fits.
Wow.
So I was styling tunnel fits in 2017 before tunnel fits were cool.
Fuck yeah. And they walk up looking
before styling became a thing and it was cool to do it, I was already doing it.
Okay, yeah, because the NBA's like gotten into that too now. Yeah. That's like you kind of started it a little bit.
Yeah, so Danny was my first player for my first client. Again, word of mouth. Then it became Deion Sims.
Okay.
Then it became Josh Bellamy, who I till this day still work with.
Nice.
And we could talk about that. Get fast forward to that too.
Yeah, we will talk about Josh in a minute. What a first name base. Me and Josh.
Yeah. So again, Josh and I first we're still working together till this day. And it just led to like Taylor Gabriel, then it led to like Anthony Miller, Eddie Jackson. It just led to like everybody who was on the roster at that time who liked to dress cool.
So you got like this niche in like sports fashion.
So
it's amazing.
Again, who the fuck wants to drive an hour and a half to the city to shop?
Yeah, you found.
And then another hour and a half back.
Yeah. It's from Deerfield, it's at least 2 hours plus Forest, an hour to shop.
Yeah.
And you don't know what the fuck you're going to get. People are going to walk up to you and be like, hey, do you play for the Bears?
Yeah. Well, I mean, back then, like, only who would shop in that department store wore more type of celebrity, higher profile anyway, or higher end people.
Yeah.
Obviously with the pandemic, it changes different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I started with a couple big Bears names and again, did it before the tunnel fits were a thing. And then now tunnel fits, everybody's a stylist. Everybody's posting their outfit. Right. Everybody wants to look fly on Sundays.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Sunday, Mondays, and Thursdays.
Yeah.
And then you got every day for the basketball players.
Yeah, totally.
And then, my favorite person I like to watch right now is Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah.
Formula One, like the race car driver. Yeah. I think he's one of the best dressed.
He just had that big race in Vegas.
Yeah, he's one of the best dressed.
Press and PR around it that was outside of the race. Because I think F1's become bigger now because I hate to say it, but I think there's a Netflix show and like there's a show called F1. And so many people I know, like in the last 2 years, have gotten into F1 because of it. They're like, I always knew what it was, but now I want to watch the race. Now I want to go, you know? And I think it kind of took off that, and they've been doing some other PR behind it. There've been some really cool movies about F1 and like.
I mean, there's been other movies in the past couple of years just about racing in general and like, the history of it. The Ford versus Mustang.
Ford versus Ferrari.
Ford versus Ferrari. And then there was another one. I forgot the guy in it, but there's another movie like that.
Yeah, there's one called Drive, I think.
Drive was a little bit older.
Yeah, do you remember that one? It's with the two guys with the Ferrari guy.
Yeah. Ferrari is the one. With the one with the son. Like, the side mistress, all that. Yeah, I remember that one. That was recent. I haven't seen the Lamborghini one.
That's what I mean. They keep coming out with I think they're trying to hype it.
Well, I think it's also like because, you know, people are running out of ideas to do movies.
You know what's interesting about that?
Because that's so many remakes coming up. But I think just that's a cool, like, I like watching like history art type of stuff. So to see the history in a movie, I think people will grasp it more because
the based on a true story concept. At least I'm learning something.
Yeah, that and just I think again our attention spans are dead in the present day. That our attention span is dead. So it's like it's hard to sit and not want to read through a book about what happened and how it came about versus visually seeing it.
So one thing I learned, and I heard Matt Damon say this. I don't know how true this is, but I think he would know.
Because he was in one of the movies.
He was.
Yeah.
But he was talking about why there are so many remakes and so many movies like this. It's because for a studio and investors to take a chance on like an independent script, it's cool, but the idea of a return isn't really there, even if it does well.
That's why you have like Fast and Furious with how many series that
there's already a building business behind it. So now we're tapping into Formula One and Ferrari and Ford.
Because you have the loyalty behind it.
It's branding.
The fan base, the brand base. But even now, like present day, you have Power.
Yeah.
And Power is expanded to 4 different
it's 4 shows.
Yeah, it's 4 different shows.
I'm learning about a new Power show every other day. I'm like, this is also from the ladies' perspective.
But you know what I'm saying? Like when you take it and you have all these spin-offs, it's the same thing. It's just in smaller form.
That's crazy. Okay, so getting back on track. Sorry, I have a little bit of ADD.
It's okay. I think we all do.
But yeah, we all do. We all got a touch of the tism.
Yeah.
But if you take it back, you kind of started Tunnel Fits, right? You found this sports niche, and now you've blown up and you have all this stuff. You're probably super busy. So I have a couple questions I like to ask everybody who's super busy.
Okay.
And just, I think the best way to do it is any way you want, but usually the first answer you think of is usually the right one. What motivates you still today?
A little bit of everything. Being the first generation.
Yeah.
Being first generation and knowing that I can make it as a creative and knowing that I've made more money than my parents have ever made in their life.
Yeah, you're proving something to them. You're fighting for their approval a little bit.
A little bit, but at the same time, the craziness of the millennial career and making so much money. And I'm going to be very transparent. I have made over $1 million in my career.
Yeah.
I've made on paper $1 million.
That's crazy. Yeah.
In the 10-year time span.
That's, you know, what's funny about that? Not the amount that the money, but like, that's what always changes their mind. Like with my family, when they started seeing that like I was making a living at first and like now doing okay, they were like, I don't get it, but it's fine. You know?
This is so embarrassing. So I come home with a Louis bag, my first Louis bag.
Yeah.
My dad's like, I know how frugal my parents are. Yeah, so my mom's like, how much did you pay for it? I'm like, don't tell dad anything.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell him anything.
Tell him it's fake. It's $20.
Because at that time, they've never touched what I've touched when it comes to money.
Right.
They've never made as much as I've made.
And they probably never make a purchase like that.
No, they wouldn't. My parents are entrepreneurs. They've had a restaurant for the past 26 years. It's in Cherville, Indiana. It's Chinese food. Your stereotypical Chinese family.
Okay. Hang on one second. This is so interesting. Yeah. So your parents run a Chinese restaurant and they're Vietnamese and Burmese.
Yes. So we're Chinese born Burmese. Okay. So like obviously migrated and stuff.
Okay.
If we do DNA tests, we're Chinese, but culturally, like nationality wise, those are the countries they came from.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's first generation Indian.
Yeah.
And his family, all Indian. They had a Mexican restaurant on the south side.
Did it work?
Yes.
Did it work?
Yeah, it was just so funny.
Did they make business? Was it good?
Yeah, they did well. You know what's funny about them? My friend's name is Pratik.
Okay.
Pratik Shrivastava. Shout out Pratik. His parents are named Nick and Sheila.
Same story.
But born in India, all that
crazy.
shit.
So I have the opposite. So the restaurant's Golden Phoenix, and it's in Cherville, Indiana. So if anybody's in the south, in the northwest Indiana area, or even south suburbs, it's there. Best Chinese food.
What was it called again?
Golden Phoenix.
That's such a great name.
I promise you, it's gonna be the best orange chicken you'll ever have.
Ooh, it's orange. I love orange chicken.
I promise you, because one time I went and I grabbed food because my best friend lives out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I forgot how good this shit was.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
buffet style, order at the counter. What kind of sit down?
Phone order, no sit down. Just
carry out only.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. I love the efficiency of it.
It used to be a sit down, and it just got so busy that they just only did carry out.
Is there like 2 awkward booths where people can wait, or like stools, and sometimes weird people will sit there and eat?
There's like one table for people to eat. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, the side, like
I
the
can picture it. Someone's grandma's always in the back on the phone.
It's my mom.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
It's my mom and my dad. So my full name is Melissa. My brother is Christopher. My sister's Michelle. My parents are Quinn, Quyin, typical Vietnamese.
Nice.
My dad is Sein, Sein.
That's a sick name. Okay.
So, I'm always like, why did you name us this? Like, why don't we have cool names like you guys? And
they wanted you to have Americanized names?
Because I'm like, we have the whitest most Americanized names. I go by Missy because in grade school, high school, and in like growing up, there was always 3 other Melissas.
Totally. That makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm like, just call me Missy. So I've been going by Missy since I was 13.
Okay.
Just call me Missy. And same thing, my brother Christopher, Michelle.
Okay.
Like those are like, if you go through your phone book, how many of those do you have?
It's so funny what's important to parents and stuff. And then you come here. Yeah.
So their story was like, do you know how much flack and how discriminating we were for our names?
Yeah.
I don't want your name to be seen on an application and be discriminated because they see an immigrant.
Yeah, that's something to think
about. So
about.
I understand that now as an adult. But I'm like, you guys have such cool names. Why don't we have cool names?
Give me a cool middle name. I can switch later.
We don't have a middle name.
No middle name.
No middle names. Just what it is. And then it's funny because even in college at Columbia, and I'm not going to give the instructor the benefit of the doubt, but I had an instructor and it was so funny. And I get it. I'm ambiguous. I get it. Who literally saw my last name and was looking for like a super foreign Asian girl. Yeah. And was like, oh, are you sure that's your name? Like, fuck you mean? Of course I'm sure that's my name.
You can't possibly be Melissa.
I'm like, yeah, it's just, I guess the ignorant just exists no matter what.
Yeah.
And even then, I mean, it was 2000, I was in college in 2006 to 2011. So yeah, even then it was just crazy for a instructor to be like, who? Not thinking that the Asian girl in front of me is me, but it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she can't be Asian enough.
Yeah, I got it. I've gotten it all my life.
I had I went to college in Minnesota.
Okay.
And I did like gen ed. So I went to a music school. Mm-hmm. Studied music. It wasn't like. Didn't have dorms similar to you, just like had to get an apartment, had to get a job, that kind of thing. So
that's another story I can't talk about, but my dad wouldn't let me leave for school.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. I know about that.
My dad wouldn't let me leave for school, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just go to Columbia, I'll stay at home, I'll still hang out. I met new friends.
You had a nightmare commute.
Oh great,
a 45-year-old man's commute before he like blows his brains out.
This is the same commute I already did in high school.
Oh, so you've always
Jones and Columbia are on the same block.
Oh my God, that's right. You're in Bridgeport.
Michigan State, yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm like, great. I'm in high school all over again.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But so I did gen eds at this St. Paul College. Like
I did, transfer to Harold Washington, get my gen eds, and then went back to Columbia.
I went to Harold Washington for a minute.
Yeah. But I am also one of the very rare people who actually graduated from Columbia. That went to Columbia and actually graduated, not just I went there, I just didn't graduate.
Yeah. I went to this school for gen eds, and one of the teachers there was so crazy. She was like, I don't know if she knew I was Jewish or not, but I remember I took a world religions class.
Okay.
And she literally was this like very evangelical Christian, like older white lady. And she was like, well, you'll always know when you meet a Jew because of the horns. And I was like, what? The horns? And she was like, yeah, the horns. And I was like, I'm Jewish. And she was like, well, sometimes they shave them down on babies. I was like, what?
Shut up.
Public school, state-run school, insanity.
Oh my God.
But yeah, like not like similar, but like just crazy.
Okay, that sounds crazy.
Story.
I mean, no lawsuit from there? Like what?
I probably could have sued for so much when I was like 18 or 19.
Yeah.
But like, one, you're kind of drunk all the time and high. And two, you're so afraid of getting in trouble, or at least I was, that like I got arrested at 19 and the police like beat me the fuck up in the bottom of a basement of the police station. and like threatened me for hours. And I got out of there, and all I kept thinking was, I hope they don't tell my parents I gave them my school address, you know?
I got arrested for throwing a party.
For throwing a party? Damn, it must have been a fucking cool party.
I got arrested at 19 for throwing a party.
Damn, at your parents' house or at school?
At my parents' house.
Oh, did they call the police on you? Or they're like, fuck this, enough, Missy?
No, the neighbors called the police, and like my mom gets home. My mom's crazy too, so my mom gets home. She's like, "What the fuck she doing in the car?
Yeah.
Get my daughter out the car." She's like, "I'm gonna arrest you." You know, CPD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna arrest you if you don't go back in the house. And I was like, "Fuck out of here, get off my property."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they put me in the paddy wagon. Didn't book me.
Damn.
But I got fined.
I got booked. They beat me up and booked me. I thought they weren't going to book me
because they didn't really have anything on me. Like,
right.
I don't own the house. I live there though.
Yeah.
You can't really book me.
What are you going to charge a 19-year-old with right now?
Right.
Yeah.
So all you charged me was for a fine for
drinking
and disturbance. And then
that's what I got. I got disturbing the peace.
Yeah, disturbing the peace and drinking, and then I guess underage drinking. And then I was supposed to go to court and didn't because I was in Dominican Republic.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you get out of jury duty too. You just go to the Dominican.
Said,
sometimes you can't come back though. You don't want to get stuck.
No, I was like, for what? For something that doesn't matter. It's gonna get thrown out. I don't care. No, I'm peace.
All right. So your parents run the Golden Phoenix. Did you work there growing up ever?
Of course I did.
Fuck
Since I was 13.
Fuck yeah. What was your job? Everything? Like what was your specialty though?
Answering the phones, putting the orders in, packing the orders.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
Yeah, like when they say all the immigrants always put their kids to work early, absolutely. It's the only way.
They didn't pay you, did they?
No, but if I wanted something like you got to work at the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a barter.
It was like your chores. It was allowance.
It was basically my chores and allowance. Like, oh, you want to buy some shoes? Here you go. Come on.
Yeah.
You want to do this? Come on. You got to work.
My favorite job I ever had was so I went to Nepal for like 6 months and lived there. Just long story, but for the fuck of it.
Okay.
Had a great time. Came back. No, I couldn't get a job at all. Like painfully. I finally find 3 Nepali restaurants where I was living in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. I go to all 3 of them. They all say no. Like, no, we're not going to hire you. Whatever. I was like, I learned Nepali there. I was like, take me to work. I can speak to you guys in the kitchen. Okay. I'll do anything. And then I get to this one I found called Kathmandu, run by one of my best friends, Ujwal Adhikari. Shout out Ujwal. He, greatest job ever. It was me, 3 of his cousins, and his 4 kids that ranged between 8 and 14. And we would do everything. And it was after work. The kids would go home and me and Ujwal would just party. We'd smoke weed. We'd drink back there. We'd have a big feast. There was a couch outside. We'd crash on most nights. You know, it was just the most fun I ever had. The kids, not the same situation. They're like, we want to hang out with our friends. We hate it. But me looking at this, I was like, best business model ever.
So the crazy thing is, like, my sister's a child. He's 6. Silas is 6. And he loves...
Say that one more time. Your sister is...
My sister's baby is 6.
Your sister's baby is 6. Got it.
Right. And when he knows we have a restaurant.
Yeah.
So, like, he wants to go to the restaurant and he'll help out.
Oh my God.
He'll literally
He wants to help out?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
He'll pack like orders.
He's got a good work ethic.
Yeah, just like whatever we see, because he sees that his parents and then his grandparents are working and he just thinks it's a norm.
Yeah.
He thinks it's a norm, so he just wants to do it too.
Good for a kid.
He just wants to do it too. He doesn't realize like this is what we do to make money.
My God.
He doesn't understand the business of it, but it's just cute because he like, I was just looking at this throwback video and he was like doing something and we're like, hey, can I have a hug? And he's like, no, I'm working.
He's like, can you not see me? I'm taking down an order. Hang on. Don't fuck me up.
He's like, no, I'm working. Oh my God, I died.
It's cute.
Crazy because he's like, he's 6, doesn't know that like going to the restaurant is work.
But it's serious for him. He's working.
He just knows it's a different atmosphere than just being at home or at school.
Yeah. You don't bother me here, Mom. All right. Okay. So your parents ran the restaurant. You worked in it growing up. I love all this. You started doing all this stuff. Well, I think the first question was what motivates you? And it was being first generation.
Being first generation, making my parents or my grandmother proud.
Making them proud.
Obviously it's from that to just
say I love you one time. Just say it.
They don't.
Say you're proud of me. Say you're proud of me.
It doesn't exist in our culture. Yeah, we don't get no affection, no I love yous, nothing. It was my gift. Mine were gifts growing up. Okay. That was our love language. And our love language is food.
Yeah,
our love language is food. You sick? are you hungry? Are you sick? Did you want me to make you some? I made you your favorite food.
Yeah.
Or are you coming over? Are you gonna come over today? I made you your favorite dish. That's I miss you. Can you come over?
Yeah. Or I'm sorry.
or like I remember I've been hospital. I sprained my ankle. My dad's like, oh, do you want me to bring you food? Like, okay, cool. That was like, they'll love you. I'm gonna take care of you. And then nowadays it's still the same thing. It's still food. Food's our love language for sure.
Okay.
But at the same time, like my parents, because I grew up so independent, the moment I call, whenever they can be mom and dad, they come running.
Of course, yeah.
They come running. And it's just because they didn't really raise me, their parents did.
Yeah.
And then I basically raised myself.
Yeah.
I've been independent, but it's like little things, I'm single. I live by myself. So it's like, hey dad, my bed broke. Can you come fix it? Oh, okay, come on. I'll come get it. Like little things.
Yeah, dads love that. I would love that too. Could you hang up my TV?
Can you hang up my TV? Yeah. I bought my first house. So
your dad's like, I've been training for this my entire life.
Basically.
Of course I can hang up your TV.
Basically. So like my housewarming gift, I'm like, oh, can you give me a TV and a sound bar? Yeah. He buys me he buys me a 75-inch. So when my friends come over,
it's like the best, I'm sure.
And they're like, why the fuck do you have a 75-inch? You're a girl.
Because my dad loves me. He just won't say it.
My dad bought it. Okay. And he put it. Yeah. My dad bought it. That's why. Sorry if yours didn't. But yeah, it's one of those. Like if they can be a parent, they can. So yeah, motivating, just like see that they came here.
Yeah.
To give us opportunities. And I kind of took those opportunities and did what I can with it, with their work ethic and, just being a self-taught everything.
All right. So making your parents proud, making your family proud. And also I think it sounds like a little bit like thriving to establish yourself as like not only independent, but like independently successful. Like, hey, I did this. I did this on my own. I did it my way.
It's that, and also being, a person of color, a minority woman, a foreigner, basically, to succeed in those. I think that's something that people don't see a lot. And like what I'm running into is, I'm not getting this position because I'm not white. Yeah. Or I'm not black. Yeah. It's more so of like, we're trying to focus on more black-owned business, black-owned this, and I get it, but I'm still a person of color.
Yeah, you're trying to hustle. You're trying to fucking get in there too. And I'm still a woman,
and it goes for
everybody deserves a shot.
Everybody deserves a shot, and I just feel like, if it was a white man saying that, they probably would get shitted on.
Totally,
like, they would say like, I can't hire them, they're not white.
I didn't say it. Don't say I did.
Like I can't hire them, they're not white. But I think that's a struggle, and just kind of being successful as a person of color is a big deal for me.
Okay. What are you most proud of?
My accolades.
What I know, I mean, like pick one, or like a thing you've accomplished that you're most proud of. Like, what have you done that you're most proud of today?
Oh,
or your work was featured somewhere?
Yeah. So Jalen Johnson, this was his first ESPYs this summer. Yeah, and Vogue featured us as one of the top best dressed at ESPYs. Yeah, good
for you, Missy.
I designed his suit.
Okay.
I worked with my friend Dutch. Dutch is
Can we pull it up? Is that cool?
Yeah, can we pull it up?
I type in ESPYs. Cool. While he's looking that up, go on.
So right there, second picture. First one. I designed his suit. And I worked with my friend Dutch. Dutch is also from Chicago. He now resides in LA. It's designed by, I curated it, and then Dutch executed it. Oh, okay. So suited by Dutch. Shout out to him. Thank you so much. I've worked with him on all of Jalen's suits this season. Nice. So and tell me about Dutch. Who is Dutch now? He's from Chicago. Dutch is also from Chicago. He's also a stylist and a suit brand designer. So you pull him. Oh, Dutch. Okay, so you pull him in when you want to like get a good suit. Dutch is your go-to suit guy. Dutch is my go-to suit guy. And so these are cool. I saw this Marlboro one too. I saw you did that. That's on your Instagram. Who's that? Jalen Johnson, number one. And the Marlboro one too? Yeah. Oh, that's sick. That's very cool. Yeah, so we were You can probably just go to the picture and just zoom in on Google. Yeah, we were featured as one of the top looks, the best dressed from Vogue. So I think that from that to be There we go. Look at that. That's cool. Okay, can you walk me through what he's wearing? Yeah, so it's a thin like snakeskin print suit. It was a blazer that I said I wanted sleeveless, so we cut the sleeves off. As you see the lapel, it's a little more to the side and not perfectly in the middle. That's cool. Higher lapel as well. Okay. No shirt under it. Plus the bottoms, we made it a little more wide like a flare bell bottom. Yeah, like a bell bottom. Yeah, bell bottom, and we have some Saint Laurent boots with it as well. I love that. Oh, it's a cool look. Mm-hmm. All right, good job. All right, so that's what you're most proud of. Yeah, I mean that was probably like the highlight of my summer because that was the first one.
That was just this summer, huh?
Yeah, that was my first one that I actually designed, like curated. And,
oh my God!
And some obviously had Dutch make it for me, but the fact that he called me and he was like, "Yo, I need a suit for the ESPYs," and this is his first one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let's go, especially after his contract.
Yeah.
After his first contract. So yeah, I mean, I would say Jalen's got a lot of exposure since last year of me dressing him all season.
Yep.
Then getting paid, and then now the whole talks of top quarterback but not talked about, but not in the top 100. That crazy conversation. We have that as well. But yeah, that definitely working with him has been a pleasure.
I'm sure that's going to lead to so much cool shit because you obviously got featured in Vogue and all that shit.
Hopefully.
I'm sure the phone's going to be ringing off the hook. That's awesome. All right. What is, I have some of these. I know I have a lot actually. Is there an opportunity that like you let slip because either you were too busy or maybe too immature at the time that you're like, what the fuck was wrong with me? I wish I didn't do that. Or I wish I had taken it more seriously.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I've had one where opportunity slip. I think the only opportunities is that I guess being limiting myself of what I can and cannot do.
Yeah, you could answer it that way too.
Yeah, I guess.
Are there things you wish you could do?
I guess if I could have started doing men's a year earlier when I had the opportunity, I should have.
Sure. And that just goes back to I wish I had more experience or was doing this longer.
I wish I believed in myself more before instead of doing it a year later after I decided not to.
Yeah.
So I think that was the only thing because that could have kind of maybe helped a little more.
Okay.
With my career, but that would probably be one.
Who are some of your fashion icons?
Ooh. Men or women?
No, whoever's most iconic. Not to sound like a Gen Z. That's so iconic of her. So let's start with men because you do men's fashion.
Wisdom is my favorite.
Okay.
WISDM. If you want to bring him up.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
He's an influencer. He's a content creator. I'll say that he's an influencer and content creator, and he is just
this him.
Yes. Everything. He is just everything.
Oh, I have seen this guy before.
I love it, and it's just so diverse and so like he can. People will challenge him like, "Hey, make an outfit worth $150,000 and make the same outfit worth only $150,000."
I've seen that guy on TikTok. Yeah.
So I love that.
That's pretty cool, actually.
He can do that.
That's such cool content.
But just like his diversity of looks, I think what makes me just drawn to him. Different are. I mean, I think. It depends. Like athletes, like if you want to talk about athletes, like Tyrod Taylor dresses very well. He works with the stylist too.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about PJ Tucker, he's definitely top 5. Shea Alexander.
Yeah.
Jordan Clarkson.
Okay.
Yeah. Kelly Oubre. Those are my 5. Those are like my top 5 in NBA.
Okay.
NFL. Yeah, definitely Tyrod. Big man. What's his name? Jeremy Tunsil, if you're talking about big man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a couple guys. And I don't think there's anything wrong with using a stylist. And I think that a lot of people
No, I would imagine
nervous.
It would be so helpful. I just know, like, I mean, not everybody has that skill. I think most people don't.
The skill.
And who has the time if you're a professional athlete and doing all this shit? Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know what? My thing is like when I have a consultation with my guys and I let them be known, like, look, I want you to focus on football and family. Yeah. And that's what I need you to do because that's what you're getting paid to do. Yeah. Right? Is
you keep staying good so that I can make you look good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me
stay top of mind.
You look good. You pay me for my services to make you look good. And I think the most challenging for most players and stylists in general, they don't understand is that it's all about proportion. And that is the key to a great outfit.
Nice.
It's just, being right proportion for your body type.
Okay. Let's hit women. Your women icons. And then I have one game I want to play with you.
Women
and then we can plug
icons.
some stuff and we'll get out of
I
here.
don't ever think about that. I guess Jeannie Mai.
Okay.
Because she's probably one of the only she's probably one of the only women that I could say I could look up to who looks like me.
Okay.
Like she started off, she was
oh, I know her.
Yeah, she was a host on E! Talking about fashion. Then she became a TV show host of herself. Yeah. And then now, content creator, influencer. But growing up, there was nobody in the media that looked like me. The closest thing was her, and there was Miss Info.
Miss Info.
Radio personality, Miss Info. Yeah. Other than that, there was no one that looked like me growing up.
Okay. Favorite Chicago spot, like maybe like that you just favorite Chicago spot, and I'm talking food.
Depends on what. We have so much good food.
Top of first thing that comes to mind, like maybe it like dates back to your childhood. Maybe it's like in high school we would always go here.
I don't know. So my friends at Bodega. I don't know if you've been to Bodega before.
No, I don't know Bodega.
You don't know Bodega? So I love it. So. My homies own it. Shout out to Ant and Nate. Bodega. It's in Wicker Park. It's a Vietnamese like bodega.
Is it on Milwaukee?
Yeah.
driven.
It's on Division now.
Okay, but it used to be on Milwaukee, I think. Or no, Division in like Ashland?
Yes.
Yes, I have driven by it.
Yes.
But I haven't been in.
Yes. It's so good.
It's a Vietnamese bodega. You can get like banh mi's and shit.
They have
I love a good
modern
banh mi.
They have modern twist banh mi's, pho, chicken, Hainan chicken. Like that's what they're really known for.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just ordered in from there.
Okay.
I got some sort of like pho and like a half banh mi on the side. It was so good. Yep. I was like, I have to remember this place.
Yeah.
I did just order there. That's crazy.
I grew up culturally Vietnamese. So, I mean, I don't mind going to other places.
Yeah, this is it.
But yeah, they're a cool little joint in Wicker. Check it out, Bodega. That's one of my favorite spots. My favorite taco places. Drunk or sober? That's the question.
Always drunk. Who wants sober tacos are a whole different kind of taco. Drunk tacos hit. So do sober.
So drunk tacos would be Los Camales in Pilsen.
Okay.
Yeah. Sober tacos would be Ruby's.
Okay.
Have you ever had Ruby's?
I've been to Los Camales, never been to Ruby's.
Fat, juicy tacos. They're so worth the wait.
Where's
on
Ruby's?
18th Street in Pilsen.
Oh, it's in Pilsen too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just went to this place in Pilsen that I really liked. It was called Los Marcos, I think.
Oh, I haven't been there. I've heard. Yeah. Mariscos. Yeah.
Los Mariscos.
Yeah.
It was so fucking good.
Okay.
It's like no,
it's on 18th.
On 18th and like just past Taylor.
Yeah.
In between Taylor. Yeah. But it's every dish is like well thought out.
I like if you like Pilsen, La Luna. Have you ever been?
Of course, I've been to La Luna. Oh my God, yeah. I fuck with La Luna. La Luna. What else is over there that I like? I used to like honky tonk barbecue a lot. I haven't been there in a long time. You don't like barbecue?
I don't like American food. I grew up really foreign.
Would you eat like a burger or a pizza?
No.
Wow. Okay. So let's keep it foreign.
It's foreign.
So like Mexican is the closest you'll get.
Mexican, Mediterranean food, Asian.
Greek. I was gonna say Greek. You do Mediterranean.
Greek
fuck with skewers. Fuck with some kebabs. You fuck with shawarma.
Yes,
I love shawarma.
I love some shawarma. What's the place on Madison? Not Zeus. Crave Kebab.
Oh, I love Crave Kebab. There's
Crave
two.
Kebab. The one on Madison is what I normally. Crave Kebab is really good.
You ever been to Old Jerusalem on Wells Street?
No.
I love Old Jerusalem.
No. I like, what's the chicken one? I'm sorry. We put on my page. I put all my favorite restaurants.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that, but
Dr. Bird's.
Did not like that.
You didn't like them?
No.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
Wasn't it? I'm sorry.
All right.
I prefer
I only brought that up because they follow you.
To me,
shout out to Dr.
Sorry,
Birds.
guys. To me, I've been to Jamaica. I've been to Ocho Rios, right? The closest thing I've ever had in Chicago that tasted like Jamaica taste jerk was Jerk Chicago on Halsted.
I love that place. So that's not too far from where I live. I bike over there sometimes.
That's the only place.
Have you ever been to what's it called? It was in Logan, then it just moved to Hyde Park.
Which?
Could you look up Jamaican food, Hyde Park?
If you want Jamaican food in Hyde Park, Ja Grill. No question.
Ja Grill, that's what it is.
No question.
Ja Grill used to be
Ja Grill, the jerk lamb chops.
Holy fuck.
The patties.
Yes. It wasn't in Logan Square. It was by Reggie's Rock Club in the South Loop. But then it moved to
Hyde Park 53rd. Park. Yeah, no, Ja Grill is my go-to.
Ooh, is it good?
Yeah, if you want jerk, that's it. There's black jerk.
Yeah.
I like Flavs.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. My guy Dave C, he just opened Jerk Yard in Hyde Park as well.
Okay.
So that's a good spot.
That place is crazy though, Ja
Grill. Oh my God.
I'm gonna put you on the go ahead.
No, all I can say is jerk lamb chops. That's it.
I'm gonna put you on to one more and then we're gonna play a quick game and get out of here. but you got to check out Kebabi. Kebabi blows my mind.
Kabobi Grill?
Yeah, you know this
Yeah,
place?
of course. The Big Platter?
In Albany Park?
Of course, the Big Platter.
Whoa.
Sweetheart, food is our love language.
$20.
We have a restaurant.
Talk about a deal and food.
I cook, so I know hole in the walls. I know hole in the walls.
I love that you know Kebabi. Well, that's just so far on the north side. I don't know, like nobody ever is in Albany Park.
No, I mean that's a mission coming from the south side.
For sure.
It's a mission for
might
sure.
Be an hour.
Yeah, it's if I have time to do it, sure.
And that's a night ender. Kebabi is like a massive. You get like 3 or 4 kebabs. It's all on a
platter of with the
laffa.
Yes.
Yeah, and then cilantro rice or regular rice or Persian rice, giant bunch of charred tomatoes and potatoes and butter that came from a diner that's still in the foil, and then pita. You got baba ganoush and hummus. Yeah. Like for $24, you could fall asleep. Yes, you could kill yourself.
The whole platter. It's the platter. I'm not lying. The platter's probably this big.
Fuck yeah!
Like that's really what it looks like. Yeah. But it'll feed you for like 2 days.
All right, we're gonna play a quick game because I want to because I think it's gonna be fun.
Okay.
Can you pull up worst dressed NBA players? And I want to know what you like and what you don't like.
Okay. Well, how about a question? What's your favorite fine dining or like high-end spot?
Yeah, okay. See, I'm like you. I want to know, we talking steakhouse? We talking like...
Italian steak.
Okay, great. Italian, my favorite restaurant of all time is in Chicago. It is Topo Gigio. You ever been?
No, where's that?
Okay, it's been there since probably the 50s. Okay. It's in Old Town on Wells Street.
Okay.
It's kind of like by where Zany's is and across the street from the Vig, if you know the Vig.
Yeah.
Topo Gigio has been there forever.
Okay.
And I would say, I wouldn't call it expensive, $20 to $30, but you could get like a bottle of wine, you could spend some money there, but like the atmosphere and the food should cost 4 times that amount.
Okay.
It's wild. It's my favorite that. Steakhouse. My favorite steakhouse is Bavette's Bar in Booth.
Somebody got to take me there. I still haven't been.
Bavette's is so good.
I still haven't been. Someone has to take me there.
We'll go as a team. Let's take the
someone
team
has
will
to
do
take
an
me
outing
there.
to
I
Bavette's.
still haven't been. It's on my to-do list. It is, but I do definitely want to go.
Have you been to any of the Hog Salt restaurants?
Which ones?
So Hog Salt owns Bavette's, Gilt Bar, Trivoli Tavern, Ciccio Mio.
Trivoli. I love Trivoli.
Okay, so it's a similar menu because of the same restaurant. Bavette's is just the steakhouse version of that.
Yeah. No, Trivoli's definitely on my Italian list.
Oh, that's another one. And I love when you walk in by the barbecue place and they have this quiet little brick, like it feels like you're in Italy.
Yeah. When you're walking, exactly.
I love the atmosphere.
For steak, I'm gonna say this is for both Italian. That's like Adelina. If you have not had their tomahawk, you need to try it. Same thing with Fioretta.
Okay,
Fioretta's tomahawk. And then they have Fioretta has this octopus tartare as well.
Oh, I've never done octopus in a tartare.
If you haven't tried it,
I've never done octopus raw.
If you haven't tried it, I definitely recommend it.
Oh, that sounds so interesting.
Fioretta, Adelina, I love. Got to shout out the guys at Gino Marti's. They have a really good steak and their gnocchi as well.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to shout out 2 in Bridgeport while they're pulling this up, just because you're from Bridgeport.
Let's see what you know.
Okay, I absolutely love Duck Inn.
I haven't been there.
Okay, they specialize in duck.
I know. Here's my thing. I'm not a fan of fine dining Asian restaurants.
It's not fine dining. It's very casual. Like I went for brunch.
Okay.
And I got like duck confit with scrambled eggs and like patio vibe.
I want home cooked.
Fair enough. That's not your thing.
My favorite.
Did you have an exception?
Sunda.
So I fucking love Sunda.
Sunda.
Do you know they have a happy hour from 4:30 to 7:30? That's unreal.
When?
Every day.
Okay.
No, every weekday. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But so I'm a little bit of a happy hour connoisseur.
Sunda is like the only exception to,
You can get, have you ever been to the Tanta next door?
I don't like Tanta.
Okay. It's Peruvian food.
Yeah. It was cool. It was okay. I wouldn't go again.
All right. So Duck Inn and then Gio's. It is a grocery store.
It's a corner joint. It's a corner joint.
With a little Italian white tablecloth place in the back. Fucking love Gio's.
Was it the penny vodka? That's what I always get from them.
Yeah, penny alla vodka, and I get a spicy with chicken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's one more. What is it? We were just talking. Oh, somebody just took me there. I don't love it, but it felt kind of cozy, and the food was decent. It was better than decent. It was good. That? It was it's St. Ignatius of the school. It's kind of like that. Ignacio's.
Where's that? What is that?
22nd, and it might be like where Comiskey is. It's a little bit north. It's 22nd and I think Bridgeport.
I'm not familiar.
Or no, 22nd and Halstead.
22nd and Halstead. That's right off the exit. I mean, that's right off of.
Yeah, it's in the neighborhood a little bit over there. I don't know. I got to think of it.
Yeah. Shout out to my friends Three Little Pigs, if you haven't been there.
Fucking Three Little Pigs. I used to order from it when it was a ghost kitchen.
So Henry...
Which was a concept that confused the fuck out of me. No way.
Yeah.
All right, I got to hit you up because that is the hardest place to eat.
Henry went to Jones
so
with
good.
Me. Yeah, so I haven't had it in person, but I've ordered it before. So good.
Oh, yeah.
For some modern Chinese food, for sure.
Oh, okay, let me tell you. Okay.
What do we got? Who do we have? The worst
Just go to the images
NBA
right
players?
here. Let's just talk about these. Click on the first one, and then we're just going to scroll left and right. Here you go. All right, what do you think of this fit? Can you zoom in just by on the mouse or the keyboard or something?
I mean, it's just sweats.
There you go. Just like that.
So the headline is he's retiring NBA title fits because people are just doing shit to do shit versus actually putting stuff together and getting a fit off. And the difference also okay, let's just be real. Fashion is designed for somebody who's 6 foot, size large 34, right? They're obviously not proportioned to what these average sizes are. So
I never thought of that.
You know what I'm saying?
They shop at the big and tall shop.
Yeah, they're not big and tall. They're just tall and long.
Yeah.
You know, versus NFL is big and tall, but they're tall and long. So
that's true.
The stuff that they put on, let's throw back when he had the pink sweater. Yeah. That avant-garde-ish.
You don't have to throw back. Let's just stay on this trail.
There you go. There's one right there. Pink sweater. I just feel like a lot of these, right now with fashion, some of these brands.
Do you like the pink sweater?
No.
Okay, I hate it.
It's just too gimmicky. It's too
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? It's very gimmicky and very trying to be cartoony.
Can we go back to those other pictures? I want to talk about the guy in red.
Huh?
The shoulder pads.
It's been trending lately, and I don't get why. I'm sorry. I'm a female with broad shoulders. Absolutely not. Do you know how hard it is for me to find? I feel like when I get dressed, can you go a size up? I got to get a size up because I feel like a linebacker.
What do you think of this?
I know, it's stupid. The cowboy look?
It's not a cowboy look, is it? I think it's a cowboy hat with another
hat.
But it's red overalls, right?
Okay. My thing is not everybody needs to be shirtless, okay?
Yeah, fair.
I love the concept, but baby, you blend in. You need to put a shirt onto that. Okay. That chocolate is the same chocolate as your skin.
I can't even see it. I'm colorblind, pretty bad, but still, I didn't know it was overalls till you said it.
But that's what I'm saying. The colors, right? He could have either done it better in a different color, or you need to put a shirt on to pop it out because it blends in with your skin tone.
I just had a conversation with one of my friends. He's black.
Yeah.
And we were crossing the street, and he was crossing at night, just in the middle of the street. And I was like, dude, you have to cross at the crosswalk. And he was like, why? I was like, you're black, wearing all black at night. Someone's going to hit you. and he had a realization moment. He was like, yeah, that's a really good point.
That's a really good point.
Hit by a car before.
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, at least wear a white coat. I
wonder why.
All right, go to this next guy. I want to talk about him. Yeah, that guy.
Who is this?
I don't fucking know. But what do you think of the outfit?
It's okay. Doesn't stand out. I think one thing about fashion right now is that everything is hype, and it's people are overhyping.
Let's do one more. Find one more. Go
overhyping the culture of fashion. Is streetwear dying? I think streetwear died when people started reselling it.
Yeah, when it became expensive.
When it became expensive, and when it became a hype.
High end.
No, when it became hype, it was just a hype.
Yeah.
It's not even cool. It just slaps the brand on, and you think it's cool.
Yeah, totally. 100%. All right, we're going to find one more for you to review. Bottom right. I like this bottom right guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Russell Westbrook. He's a hit or miss.
Russell Westbrook does a lot of avant-garde shit for sure.
He's always a hit or miss. He looks like he's got a robe on top of sweats.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Why?
I don't know.
I wouldn't consider that a fit.
It looks like kind of lazily put together.
I feel like when you do two pieces, it's lazily put together. If you're going to do a two piece, make sure it fits your body right and make sure you're accessorizing right. This is much better.
I like this. What do we think of this?
This is much better. I would have done different shoes. I would have preferred something more cleaner than sneakers.
Yeah.
Just because he's basically got a tailored look.
Yeah.
And I think guys need to start getting back. So here's another thing. So my grandfather, he passed when I was 13. And I had just went through my photos the other day of going through old school photos. And my grandfather was so fly. This man was in a suit. The only time that this man was not in a suit was when he was in the house in sweats.
I love that.
But anytime he went outside, he could be walking to the corner store to buy his lottery tickets. The man was in a suit.
Getting mail.
No, he like walking to the corner store to get his cigarettes and his lottery tickets.
That's crazy.
And this man is in a suit.
Well, he's going outside. He's got to dress up. What is he, a schlub?
But I'm saying,
he
like,
loves it.
Like, people don't do that anymore.
They don't. It was very much an older generation thing that if you're going to go out, you dress up. And I do miss that.
Or, well, I mean, I'm not going to lie. My grandpa was a gangster too. So I feel like that was also like an
appearance thing.
Yeah, like a old school
good for him.
Type of thing. And when I was looking at the pictures, I'm like, oh my God, my grandfather was always so fly, always in a suit.
Oh my God.
So like when we were talking about inspirations, like a lot of my inspirations come from like my family and, you know, what I've seen growing up. I do a lot of like retro because I grew up in the 80s, you know, I grew up in the 90s. A lot of inspos from that, movies. Obviously that's also from real life stuff. Yeah. And then traveling. Traveling. Like a lot of my inspiration comes from traveling and I'll see something or like just get a vision.
Yeah. I love that. All right. I'll let you get out of here in a second, but anything you want to plug?
Follow me, Infamous Missy.
We're going to put all your shit on the bottom, but why don't we roll through them? Infamous Missy, what else?
We have Infamous Missy. That's me. That's the lifestyle of Missy. We have Infamous Styling, which is my portfolio of all the clients I style. I then also have Infamous Collective. So if you want to find out what events and parties I got going on, that's where you'll find me.
Sick. And we're going to leave on one question.
Okay.
One word answer. Or one answer. What was your favorite 90s TV show growing up?
Oh, that was hard. Oh my God. Can I tell a movie instead?
Yes.
Hook.
With Robin Williams. I fucking loved Hook. That's a good one.
Hook.
All right, fuck yeah.
Yeah, Hook.
All right, this has been the Brad Kofman Chop Shop with the wonderful Missy, and we'll see you next week.